So if you're thinking about giving up, let's say you're doing something, maybe you're trying to build an online business, you're trying to become an entrepreneur, make a lot of money online, whatever that may be, and you're thinking about giving up. Maybe you've tried for a year or two or whatever, and you get to a point where things start feeling a bit rough. You start getting overwhelmed, you've tried many different things, and you can't seem to make it work, right? If you're at that point, you need to understand something. Everyone gets to that point. When you're doing something and you're at a specific journey, you will always reach that point at that brink of wanting to give up. That point where you see very little results. And that is the point where 99% give up. That is the point where the majority trying to build something online or whatever that may be, they all give up at that point. Now, if you want to separate yourself from the rest, you have to recognize that moment. When you are at that moment in your journey, it may be right now, it may come in a few months. We don't know, and you don't know that either. It can come very unexpectedly and very unpredictably. But when it does come, you have to recognize that moment for what it is and understand that it's a deciding factor in how your life is going to play out. That moment. And it is a deciding factor of what your character actually is. That's when you're really going to be tested. You're going to stumble upon this very moment, this kind of checkpoint in your journey where you can decide to either give up or keep going. Most people, guess what? They give up. It gets very overwhelming. They're done. They're done mentally and they're drained. They've tried everything. They've tried so many things and they haven't been able to make it work. It's still one of those things that they just keep trying. They try, but they're still stuck. If you're at that point, you will think the most logical thing you can do is give up. That is the worst thing you can do when you reach that point. Because believe it or not, you're actually closer to success than you believe when you reach that point. Most people never find out. I don't know if you've seen this picture. Pretty much everyone has seen it. There's two miners. One on the above the picture and one below. One is very, very close to the diamonds, like just a few centimeters of digging, and he'll have all the diamonds and all the glory and all the things he has worked so hard for. But then he turns around and quits because he's been trying for so long, he doesn't realize how close he is to the prize, to succeeding. So he turns around and he gives up. That's most people who give up. They're so close to a breakthrough, but they don't realize it. They think they're so far away and they give up. Then at the top of the picture, there's someone else who's just grinding away. He's like halfway through the mine and halfway through the diamonds to reach the diamonds, but he still just grinds away and he doesn't quit. He's ferocious and he just goes all in. That's the kind of person you need to be, not the miner on the bottom that quits when he's so close. He's just there. It's just a little bit more digging and mining, and he's right there with the diamonds. And the prize he's been working so hard for, and he's been dreaming so hard about, right? But he quits. That's most people who are working towards something. They get so close to it, but they don't get close enough, and then they give up because it gets overwhelming. You have to understand and recognize that very crucial moment in your process and in your journey. Because at that very moment, it will be a defining factor in how your future will play out and what kind of man you are. Because most people give up at that point. They see no reason to keep going. That is the breaking point of, there is no reason for them to keep going. It's their breaking point and they just want to throw in the towel. Most people listen to that voice in their heads and they listen to that sign and that break point and that checkpoint in their journey. They give into it and they give up. That is something you have to fight against. When you reach that point, you need to keep going. That is the point in which most people quit. So if you feel and find yourself being there right now and you just want to quit, you've tried 5 to 10 different business models, you've tried everything. You've maybe been going at it for almost 2 years and you're still making very little online or whatever that may be. Keep going. You're closer than you think. You just have to keep going. If you give up, everything is in vain. Everything you've suffered for the past 2 years is in vain. That is the worst kind of pain you'll ever feel, because that pain of regret will far supersede the pain of discipline, of just continuing and keep going. So you have to choose your pain and you have to choose your suffering. Do you want to suffer by being a quitter, or do you want to suffer by just continuing to work? You have a choice to make, but you have to understand most people quit when they reach their breaking point. You have to fight against that breaking point and realize this is where most people quit, and I'm not going to be most people, because most people will never succeed. That's why a vast minority have succeeded, because it's not for everyone. Very few will actually succeed. Very few will actually try to begin with. And out of everyone that tries, very few succeed. So if you're that kind of person that doesn't try at all, you're the worst of the worst. The people that don't try are the worst of the worst. They're even worse than quitters. Quitters are a strong second, because they're awful as well. They're weak, you know. But if you don't even try, you're the worst of the worst. But if you quit, at least you're a little better than the person that doesn't even try. And the best kind of person, the strongest man, is the one that tries and never stops trying. Despite the amount of failures, despite the amount of hurt and pain and suffering, he keeps going. Be that kind of person. Doesn't matter how much it hurts right now at your breaking point, you have to keep going, because this is where everyone quits. This is where everyone turns around. When they're so close to the diamond, this is where people say enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. Don't be like most people. Keep going. You're almost there with the diamonds and at the prize. You just have to keep going a little bit further. Do not stop. Do not be most people, and watch everything in your life change. This is your breaking point right now. This is the last thing you can turn around against. You have to keep going at this breaking point. This is where most people quit. Again, don't be most people. Be better than that, and you'll thank yourself for it. Choose the right pain in life. Choose the right suffering in life, and you will thank yourself for it. But that's all I have for you guys today. And as always, I'll see you next time.